All right, thanks, guys. We went 5-2 yesterday in our premium selections on patreon.com/Brock Page. That's going to improve our record to 6-1 in our last 7 board member package plays on that website. We're also hitting at 65% for the entire college football season. More information for that website is in the description section below. That is patreon.com/Brock Page. All right, we got ourselves a very full slate of NHL action, so let's go ahead and get into it, beginning with the Sabres taking on the Lightning. Sounds familiar. That's going to be a 1 o'clock Eastern puck drop at the Ericsson Globe in Stockholm, Sweden. Of course, like I said yesterday, that's a part of that global series put on by the NHL. Looks like we're going to have Carter Hutton for the Sabres, McElhaney for the Lightning. Now, Buffalo is 9-5-2 overall for the year, 5-3 against the spread away from home. And of course, when I refer to the spread in NHL, I'm referring to the puck line. We have Eichel and Reinhart, 7 goals apiece for the Sabres. Olofsson and Dahlin, 11 points for them. Marco Scandella, +8 on the year for Buffalo. Now, Carter Hutton is 6-2-2 on the year, 208 goals against, 928 save percentage. Buffalo is in third place in their division, 4 points back of the lead. Curtis McElhaney on the other side for the Lightning comes into this matchup with a 393 goals against and an 899 save percentage. Tampa Bay is just 3-7 against the spread away from home this year. And of course, once again, that's puck line. Tampa Bay, they rank in the bottom 5 in goals allowed, bottom 3 in shots allowed. And when it comes to this total, Buffalo's 80% of the under in their last 5. So although we have no line for this game, I'm going to lean Buffalo against the spread. Buffalo puck line and the under in that game. All right, next matchup, it is going to be Panthers, Islanders, 1 o'clock, Long Island. The Islanders are -115, totals at 6. No movement on the total as of yet. We saw nickel fade of New York in the early wagering. The Islanders open 120, down to -115, totals at 6. 64% are leaning Islanders, 61% shaded toward the over. Right now the Panthers are -105 on the money line. The Islanders +210, laying the goal and a half. We have Grice for the Islanders, Bobrovsky for the Panthers. Sergei Bobrovsky comes into this game with a 3.50 goals against and an 8.78 save percentage. Grice on the other side, 6-1 on the year, 2.00 goals against, 9.37 save percentage. The Islanders are 11-3-1 on the year, 7-2-1 at home. They're in second place in the Metropolitan Division. They're 4 points back of Washington in the division. Bailey and Barzal have 6 goals apiece. Barzal's also +10 on the year. Devin Tays, 9 points on the year, 7 assists for him. The Islanders, they rank in the top 3 in goals allowed, 9-1 straight up in their last 10. Florida on the other side, winners in just 4 out of 9 games on the road. They rank in the bottom 3 in goals allowed. Vinny Trocheck is questionable. Horluck's out. When it comes to this total, Florida's 10-4-1 to the over, 6-3 to the over on the road. Give me the Islanders -$1.15 and the over 6 goals in that game. Next matchup, Hurricanes, Senators, 7 o'clock, Ottawa. The Hurricanes are -195, total 6.5. No movement on the total. Saw a nickel fade of Carolina. The Hurricanes open $2, down to 195, total 6.5. 73% are leaning Carolina, 66% shaded toward the under. Right now, the Senators are +165 on the money line. Carolina +$1.45 on the puck line. We have Peter Mrazek for the Canes, Anders Nilsson for the Senators. Now, Nilsson actually comes into this game with a 2.92 goals against and a 9.23 save percentage. Ottawa's won 2 out of their last 3 games. They're also 4-3 straight up in their last 7. They've won 4 out of their last 6 at home, and they're led by Jean-Gabe Pageau, who's got 7 goals on the year, 11 points. He's +15. Pageau is +15 for the Senators. Connor Brown has 10 assists, 12 points for the Sens as well. Now, Carolina on the other side, 3-game losing streak for them. Jordan Martinook out 6 to 8 weeks. I said that the other day, so obviously he's still out. And Carolina 3-4 against the spread away from home. They're also 3-6 straight up in their last 9, 1-4 straight up in their last 5 when traveling. When it comes to this total, Carolina's 4-2 to the under in their last 6. Ottawa 7-2 to the under in their last 9 head-to-head matchups with the Hurricanes. I'm going to lean toward the home dog in this one. Give me the Senators plus 1.5 and the under 6.5 goals in that game. Before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for Saturday's NHL action, but before we dive into some more of that, I just want to quickly remind you once again to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage, where we went 5-2 yesterday in our premium selections on that site. That's going to improve our record to 6-1 in our last 7 board member package plays. That's our hottest package right now. We're also hitting at 65% for the entire college football season. Basically, what we do on that site, we do daily plays, and we have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to, beginning at just $1.99 per month. We can access my current record for free right on the homepage. And a lot of folks ask me, what's the difference between YouTube and Patreon? Well, basically, what we do here on YouTube is we will handicap every single game on the slate. We'll formulate an opinion on both the side and the total. We'll make a pick on everything. Well, if you were to do that in real life and bet every single game, side, and total, you will lose badly in the long run. In the short term, you can't win. The books are too good. The math will always beat you. The math is always against you. So what we do in Patreon, we narrow it down to 3 to 4 premium selections a day. They're a little bit higher percentage. They're personal plays on mine. They're games basically I have action on myself. And my current record right now on Patreon is a whole lot better than it is on YouTube. I can guarantee you that. So once again, if you want more information, link for that site is in the description section below. That is patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive into some more free lines and personal leans right here on YouTube. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got the Kings taking on the Canadiens. And that is going to be a 7 o'clock Eastern puck drop in Montreal. The Canadiens are minus 200, total 6.5. No movement on this total. We saw a 15-cent move toward Montreal. The Canadiens open $1.85, up to minus 200, total 6.5. 78% are leaning Montreal, 67% shaded toward the under. Right now, the Kings are plus 170 on the money line, Montreal plus 120 on the puck line. We have Carey Price for the Canadiens, Johnny Quick for the Kings. Now, Quick's just 2-7 on the year, 440 goals against, 859 save percentage. Price on the other side for Montreal, 7-4-1 on the year, 277 goals against, 912 save percentage. Montreal has won 4 out of their last 6 games. They also rank in the top 3 in defensive shots allowed at home. Gallagher and Drouin, 7 goals apiece, 13 points each. Very bizarre there. Both have 7 goals apiece, 13 points for both Gallagher and Drouin. Max Domi, 7 assists. He's plus 7 on the year. Armia and Cousins are both plus 6 as well for Montreal. Now the Kings on the other side, losers in 6 out of their last 7. They're just 5-10-1 overall for the year. Last place in the Pacific Division, 13 points back in that division. Carl Grundstrom, questionable with an oblique for Los Angeles. The Kings rank in the bottom 5 in scoring, bottom 3 in goals allowed. They failed to cover in 6 out of their last 9 away from home. When it comes to the total, the Kings are 63% to the over on the road. Montreal 9-6-1 to the over. I'm going to lean Canadiens minus 1.5 and the over 6.5 in that game. Next matchup, Flyers, Maple Leafs, 7 o'clock Toronto. The Maple Leafs are minus 165, total 6.5. We saw a 15-cent fade of Toronto in the early wagering. The Leafs open $1.80, down to minus 165, total 6.5. 73% are leaning Toronto, 72% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Flyers are plus 145 on the money line. Toronto plus $1.45, laying the goal and a half. We have Freddie Anderson for the Leafs, Carter Hart for the Flyers. Hart comes into this game with an .889 save percentage. Freddie Anderson on the other side, 9-2 on the year, 269 goals against, 914 save percentage. Toronto's 9-5-3 overall for the year. Second place in the Atlantic Division. 3 points back of first in that division. 3-game winning streak for them. They rank in the top 10 in scoring. Austin Matthews, 13 goals a game, 19 points. He's plus 6 on the year. Mitch Marner, 14 assists, 18 points for him. And Ilya Mikheyev, +7 on the year, 7 assists, 11 points for Mikheyev. Philadelphia, on the other side, ranks in the bottom 5 in road goals allowed, 2-5 straight up away from home, losers in 8 out of their last 10 straight up as the dog. They're also 3-4 on the puck line when traveling. So 3-4 ATS on the road. Scotty Lawton still out indefinitely. Sam Moran out for the season. Now, total-wise, Philadelphia 4-3 to the over when traveling. Toronto 10-7 to the over overall for the year. Give me Toronto minus $1.65 and the over 6.5 goals in that game. Next matchup, Golden Knights taking on the Caps. That's going to be a 7 o'clock puck drop in the nation's capital. Washington's minus $1.30, total 6.5. We did see a nickel fade of Washington in the early wagering. The Capitals open $1.35 down to 130, total 6.5. 68% are leaning Washington, 66% leaning toward the over. Right now, the Golden Knights are plus $1.10 on the money line. Washington plus 185, laying the goal and a half. We have Braden Holtby for the Caps, Marc-Andre Fleury for the Golden Knights. Now, Holtby comes into this game for Washington with a 7-1 record on the year. The Caps are 12-12-3 overall for the season, winners in 9 out of their last 10. They lead the NHL in points with 27 of them. They're in first place in the Metropolitan Division. Alex Ovechkin has 13 goals on the year, 19 assists, 22 points total. John Carlson has 26 points total. He's actually got 4 more points than Ovechkin. Once again, John Carlson, 26 points on the year, 18 assists. He's plus 13. Mike Kempney, 7 assists on the year. He's plus 10. Washington ranks in the top 3 in scoring, top 10 in shots allowed at home. Nick Dowd is listed as questionable. Richard Panik on the injured reserve as well. Now, Vegas on the other side, losers in 3 out of their last 4. They've also dropped 5 out of their last 8. They rank in the bottom 10 in shots allowed. Alex Tuch is listed as questionable for tonight's action. And when it comes to this total, Vegas is 6-2 to the under when traveling. I'm going to lean Washington Capitals minus $1.30 and the over 6.5 in that game. Next matchup, Chicago taking on the Penguins, 7 o'clock Pittsburgh. The Pens are minus 210, total 6.5. 75% are leaning Pittsburgh, 61% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Blackhawks are plus 175 on the money line. Pittsburgh plus 105 on the puck line. Matt Murray for the Pens, Robbie Lehner for the Blackhawks. Lehner comes into this game with a 3-3 record, 2.33 goals against, and a 9.35 save percentage. Chicago winners in 2 out of their last 3. They're also a perfect 10-0 straight up in their last 10, taking on Pittsburgh. Kane and DeBrincat, 5 goals apiece. Kane has 16 points on the year. Pittsburgh on the other side, losers in 2 out of their last 3. They're also just 3-5 straight up in their last 8. They failed to cover in 6 out of their last 9 at home, and they rank in the bottom 10 in home scoring. Now, total-wise, the Penguins are 67% to the under at home. Chicago 9-5-1 to the under overall for the year. Give me the Blackhawks plus 1.5 and the under 6.5 in that game. Next matchup, Wild Coyotes. 8 o'clock puck drop in Arizona. The Coyotes are minus 145, totals at 5 flat. 69% are leaning Arizona, 77% shaded toward the over. Right now, Minnesota's plus $1.25 on the money line. Arizona plus 185, laying the goal and a half. We have Darcy Kemper for Arizona, Devin Dubnyk for Minnesota. Dubnyk's just 2-7 with a 3.64 goals against and an 8.83 save percentage. Darcy Kemper on the other side for the Coyotes, 7-4-1 on the year, 1.82 goals against, 9.37 save percentage. Arizona's 9-5-2 overall for the year, just 4 points back of first place in the division. They rank in the top 3 in goals allowed, 6-4 straight up in their last 10. Schmaltz and Garland are plus 8 for the year for Arizona. Alex Goligoski, 9 assists, 10 points for him as well. Now, Minnesota on the other side, losers in 4 out of their last 5. They're just 5-10-1 overall for the season. They rank in the bottom 3 in shots, bottom 3 in road scoring. They're also in last place in the Central Division. 14 points back of first place in that division. Marcus Foligno is listed as questionable for tonight's action. Kevin Fiala is out. Total-wise, Arizona 10-5-1 to the under, 5-2 to the under at home. Give me the Coyotes minus $1.45 and the under 5 goals in that game. Next matchup, Columbus, Colorado, 9 o'clock, Mile High City. Colorado's minus 145, totals at 6. Columbus is plus 120 on the money line. Colorado plus $1.85, laying the goal and a half. We have Pavel Francouz for the Avalanche, and my favorite name in the game, Joonas Korpisalo for Columbus. Now, Korpisalo is just 6-6 on the year, 305 goals against, 896 save percentage. Francouz on the other side for the Avalanche, 3-2 on the year, 298 goals against, 906 save percentage. Colorado's 9-5-2 overall for the year, 5-2-1 at home. Guys, Phil Grubauer is out. I just wanted to let you guys know. That's why Francouz is getting the start. But Grubauer is out indefinitely with a lower body injury. So tough break there for Colorado. Nathan McKinnon, good news. He's probable for tonight. Nikita Zadorov is questionable. Colorado ranks in the top 5 in scoring, top 10 in offensive shots at home. Nate McKinnon, who is probable tonight, should play. He's got 13 assists, 9 goals, 22 points total. Ian Cole is plus 8 on the year, 6 assists for him. And Cale Makar, 13 assists, 15 points for the Avalanche. Now the Blue Jackets on the other side, losers in 5 out of their last 6. They're in 7th place in the Metropolitan Division, which is second to last in that division. 12 points back of the division lead. Dubinsky and Murray are out. The Blue Jackets are bottom 3 in scoring, bottom 5 in goals allowed on the road. And when it comes to the total, CBJ is 4-3 to the over when traveling. Colorado 5-2-1 to the over at home. Give me the Avalanche minus 145 and the over 6 goals in that game. Next matchup, Blues, Flames, 10 o'clock, Calgary. The Flames are minus 135, totals at 6. We did see a nickel move toward Calgary in the early wagering. The Flames open $1.30 up to 135, totals at 6. 51% are leaning Blues, 53% shaded toward the over. Right now, St. Louis is plus 115 on the money line. Calgary plus $1.85, laying the goal and a half. We have David Riddick for the Flames, Jordan Binnington for the Blues. Binnington's 8-2 with a 2.43 goals against and a 9.21 save percentage. St. Louis is 11-3-3 on the year, 6-2-1 away from home. They're right in the middle of a 6-game win streak. They're in first place in the Central Division, 5 points ahead of Nashville for that top spot. Braden Shen, 10 goals, 6 assists, 16 points for him. Ryan O'Reilly, 17 points on the year, 13 assists. Jaden Schwartz, 11 assists, 14 points for him. St. Louis ranks in the top 10 in road scoring, top 10 in shots allowed on the road. Calgary on the other side, just 9-10 against the spread overall, 4-4 ATS at home. When it comes to this total, Calgary's 5-2-1 to the over at home. St. Louis 5-4 to the over when traveling. I'm going to lean toward the road dog in this one. Give me the Blues plus 115 and the over 6 goals in that game. And we're going to slide into our next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be Predators, Sharks, 10:30 San Jose. The Preds are minus 130, total 6.5. We saw a 20-cent move toward Nashville in the early wagering here. The Preds open $1.10 up to 130, total 6.5. 68% are leaning Nashville, 52% shaded toward the over. Right now the Sharks are plus 110 on the money line. Nashville plus 195, laying the goal and a half. We have Pekka Rinne for the Preds, Martin Jones for the Sharks. Jones is just 4-7 with a 3.52 goals against and an 8.83 save percentage. Pekka Rinne on the other side, 8-1-2, 8-1-2 on the year, 8 wins, 1 loss, 2 overtime losses, 8-1-2 on the year, 2.46 goals against, 9.12 save percentage. Nashville 5-3 straight up in their last 8, 9-5-2 overall for the year, second place in the Central Division. They rank in the top 3 in scoring, top 10 in shots allowed. Roman Josi, 17 points on the year, 12 assists. Philip Forsberg, 7 goals, 5 assists for him. Watson's plus 14. Hamhouse plus 11. And Nick Bonino, 8 goals on the year for him. Now the Sharks on the other side, losers in 7 out of their last 10. They're just 1-8 straight up as the dog. They rank in the bottom 10 in scoring and offensive shots. And they rank in the bottom 5 in goals allowed. Jacob Middleton out indefinitely for the Sharks. When it comes to this total, Nashville is 11-5 to the over for the season, 5-1 to the over when traveling. Give me the Preds minus $1.30 and the over 6.5 in that game. And we're going to slide into our quick pick recap brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage, where we are 6-1 in our last 7 board member plays. I'm going to lean Nashville -130 over 6.5. St. Louis plus $1.15 over 6 goals. Colorado -145 over 6 goals. Arizona -145 under 5 flat. Washington -130 over 6.5. Toronto -165 over 6.5. Montreal -1.5 over 6.5. Chicago plus 1.5 under 6.5. Ottawa plus 1.5 under 6.5. Islanders -115 over 6 goals. And last but certainly not least, we have Buffalo getting the job done on the puck line and the under in that game. All right, guys, let's go ahead and slide into some shout-outs. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage. Shout out to Urania Jimenez, Trevor123, Stevie Puz Powers, Lane Eternal Master. Shout out to Vernon Williard, Irek Bodun, Roddy Christie, Nathan Woosley, Shotgun Shell 80, Nelgod 206, Ulysses Hayes, Mike Wilkerson, Tan Win, Evil Dax, Wilson Cardonia, Compton Drive-By, Charles. Shout out to Wayne Mabson, J Money, 335 IAO NBA. Shout out to Mike Evans Author, and last but not least, shout out to Pedro Teixeira. All right, guys. That's going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on patreon.com/BrockPage, where we went 5-2 yesterday in our premium selections. That's going to put us at 6-1 in our last 7 board member package plays. We're also hitting at 65% for the entire college football season. Link for that site is in the description section below if you want some more information. That's patreon.com/BrockPage. But most importantly, guys, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Saturday to you. Best of luck to you. And don't forget to check me out on patreon.com/BrockPage.